Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. In this video, I am going to be going over these folio pages for your journal. You can put them in your signature. You can tuck them in another pocket. You can even make this into your own notebook by sewing a signature in here. I like to make a bunch of these at one time using different printouts from my favorite creators and a few of my own, because you gotta be your own favorite creator, right? That's not like having a big ego or anything. I mean, I love what I make most of the time. And underneath this, we have some pages that we're gonna work with. And I'll show you the steps of that. This is from one of my printouts. This is on 110-pound index stock. What do they call it? Card cover. I have it printed on both sides. I even have an oopsie here that we're gonna try and do the same thing. The measurements will be different, obviously, but my printer decided to print out the page on paper like this. So I'm like, well, you know what? Let's make it into a happy accident. We'll go ahead and see what we can do with that using the same principles that we learned here. So, and then there's this one. This is from 49 Dragonflies, I do believe, Barbara. And then the back side here is a part of Tony from Crafting with Tony's birthday freebies. I'm like, I love all those pages, so I'm going to do that. And then this is from Robin McClendon. I do believe I got this as part of her Patreon. And again, another one of Tony's. One of the things that we're going to need is pocket stuff, so we'll go over that in a minute. And then here's a few pages. Again, Tony's background, and then I left a couple blank because we can do some fun things with those too, really super fast. So these again, 49 Dragonflies, Barbara, another from Robin McClendon, and these two are from Seven Plaza, Margaret over at Seven Plaza. So I have a gnome journal that I'm working on, so I wanted a mushroom one. So we're going to put these aside for now because these are bases that have already been cut. And then we're going to go through on how to cut the bases. And then I have a bunch of small, big ephemera. Like, let's see, I think these were from Tracy Fox or Barbara again. This is Seven Plaza. These are one full page. I printed them 2 per page. Seven Plaza. Margaret, I love your mushrooms. They're just awesome. Let's see, another one from Barbara. I printed one on ivory cardstock, which is this one, and then one on white cardstock, just so they have a little bit of difference. And then this is from mine and mine and mine. These are all from the Divine Feminine digital that is on my Ko-fi page right now. And for the month of March, it is on sale. So if you're watching this in March, it'll be on sale. Let me put those to the side for now because we're going to come back to these. Now, our first dimension that we're going to have is 10.5 inches by 7.5 inches. So that way, no matter what you have on either side, like this doesn't print all the way to the edge because I do believe these are designed for A4 paper, and I did shrink to fit when I printed these out. So it shrunk the sides because A4 paper is 11.67 across inches and 8.26 across in inches. There we go. Across and across, because you can go across twice. Is that called crisscross? Anyway, I digress. So that way, no matter what you have printed on either side is going to show up. And there won't be a white edge, hopefully. Give or take an eighth of an inch, you should be okay, because I'm not about a matchy anyway. So let's get our paper cutter out and cut these down. So I can do 3 pages at one time with this cutter of the index stock, which is why I love this cutter. And there's 3 pages here. So we're going to take this and we're just going to cut this edge off. I'm just going to check the other side and make sure we got all the white off. Got most of the white off of that one. That one. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because it has such a deep white angle. We might just leave the white there and just hit it with some ink. So, in fact, that's what we're going to do. So I know this edge needs to be cut a little bit more. So there's a little tiny bit of white down there. I ain't gonna worry about that. This one's got a more substantial amount. And so we're going for 7.5 or 8. Let's go 8 with this one. And then we'll flip it over on the other side and we'll bring it down another 1/4 of an inch. Because I do a lot of 1/4 inches because that's what this Fisker's rotary cutter thing, it's expensive, but I tell you what, I no hardship with that, and I'm not as strong as I used to be. I've beaten my body to the point where it's like, okay, it's time for you to retire doing all that heavy lifting and staying on your feet for 30 hours every 3 days. Okay, so we're at 8 1/4 or 7 3/4, so close enough to 7.5 for our purposes. And then we're going to take this and we're going to measure this out to 10.5. So there's 10.5 right there. And there we go. Now, if you cut yours down and it's smaller than 10.5, you're going to have to adjust your measurements from here because we're going to fold it in half and your half mark is obviously going to be different. Since we have the cutter out, let's cut this little lady down. There we go. Now, we got that one done. Oh, see, got a little bit here, so we need to trim her down a little bit more. There we go. Now, if you have print to edge, bully for you. I don't have that right now. And my inkjet printer is on standby in storage right now. I will hopefully getting it back soon, because there's aspects of the laser printer that I love and there's aspects of the laser printer that I don't love. Printing to edge is not an option for me. Now let's make sure we have all these cut to 10.5, because I think a few of them might be a little short. No, we're good. Let's cut it to 10.5. Let's try this again. So the length is pretty much the only one that's really kind of important with the measurements, because the height is really going to depend on what journal you want to put it in. What do you want to put like a half-page piece of paper in there and make it like a notebook with pockets. We're going to line that back up again, because I think we went a little longer doodle there at the top. Yep, we did. All right, so these are all ready to go. And some are a little taller than others, and I'm okay with that. But so it's just going to depend. So just make the ones this size for now, so you get your idea and know where you're going. And then you can take measurements from that. Use that base to be your design for your next one. And then you can start making those. If those are the kind of journals you make all the time, or the size that you make all the time, then adjust it to be that size. Okay, so this is just to get you started, get your feet wet, so to speak. That's why I give you dimensions so you can follow along exactly with what I'm doing. And then now, where'd my little pile of happy things go? I've got a little pile of happy things, and these need to be 5 1/4 by 4. So if they're not 5 1/4, which, let's bring out the ruler, 5 1/4, which this one isn't. So we're going to put the two small ones off to the side because we can use those as decorations. So I know this one isn't. That's just 5. This one isn't. Okay. These two I know will be long enough. And the 4 will give us the height of the pocket. So this is going to be a little bit shallower of a pocket, and I'm okay with that. So we'll cut these at 5 1/2, or 5 1/4, excuse me. So 5 1/4 is right there. We're going to save these because these will make a good little something something. So, because I don't know what they're going to be exactly. And I think, so we've got, let's count how many journals we've got. So we need to know how many pockets we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, lucky number 7. So we need 14 pockets. And I'm hoping these mushrooms are big enough. Oh, yes, they are. Okay. You know what? We got to trim them down, though, a little bit. So let's take, because they're 6 1/2 inches now. So let's take them down. And this one's a little too tall. So we want to do 4. Let's do 4 1/4. There we go. Put you in there. Let's cut off a little bit here. Probably right there. Actually, you know what? We're going to cut it all off here. So 5 1/4, because we want a 1/4 inch on either end. See, this is going to be interesting because it's not as wide as I want it to be. We might be able to fudge that a little bit. In fact, I got an idea. There we go. We'll put this in our keep pile. And we're going to bring back this guy because I have an idea. So that one, let's put the clocks with that one. So actually, you know what? Let's find. Let's find something to go with that really super fast. We'll use this one because I want to use the clocks on one of these journals. And then these on one of these journals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 2 more chunks. So we want to cut this into 4. Let's do 4 1/2. I'm okay with it being fairly large. And then let's cut it off. Here. And let's see, 2 1/2. I'm using this as my half line. So 2 1/2 and up a 1/4. try that with this. 2.5, up a quarter. No, 2.5. Just do it that way. Actually, this is where kind of a little bit of the design comes in. You just want to make sure that, excuse me, you are cutting in a way where you're whittling it down to something that you'll like. Okay, so those two are about the same. We've got our little scrap in there, so we've got 3 ready. Let's bring this, let's see how big these are. These are 7 by 5. So let's actually cut. Yeah, I like that. Cut that there because I can use this again. And then 4. All right. And then we're going to take and do 4 here. Actually, changing my mind all the time, I'm sorry. So they look similar, but they're not the same. That's kind of how I'm going with this. And 4. Okay, there's 2 more. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Because we can cut a notch right here. That would be kind of cute. So we'll just do this at 3.5. So it's a shallower pocket, and then we'll do this one so it's a deeper pocket. Okay. Okay. And then let's do, cut this in half right here. That can go in the bin. And then this goes down to 5 1/4. Perfect. Because that way, I know for a fact these 2 are going to be whole, and there's a portion of this one and a portion of this one. But these 2 and the flowers will be whole, so that'll be cute. And then what size is this? We don't want too big. Let's do the same kind of effect. Let's do and we can do a little notch right there. Four and a quarter seems good. And then we can do a little notch right there. And then we need to make sure You'll see why I've gone through so much rigmarole with all this. Now let's pick out some, I've got some other paper here. That will work well for pockets. So we're going to cut this at 5 1/4, or excuse me, 4. Cut this at 4 1/4. Cut this one at 4 1/4, or 4, excuse me. And then 5 1/4. And you'll notice I didn't cut the white edges off because we're going to be scoring these and folding them back to create gussets. So this will, leaving these intact will allow us to have more more space to fold our gussets without using up the print. So 5 1/4. And wait, I don't remember which way I'm going here. All right, so we got pockets for everything now. And we can work with all that. Now that we got all our cutting done, we're going to remove the cutting board and we're going to grab our scoreboard. Our next step is using our scoreboard. And if you don't have a scoreboard, a ruler and a butter knife, which I will illustrate in one of my future videos. It does work, but that will be our little demo of how to use household stuff. And I have a whole list of things. I'm waiting till I get to 10 things and then I'll make the video because I'm very resourceful, or so I'm told. So when we're scoring, we want to decide which side we want to be the inside, what side we want to be the outside. And then since we're at 10 1/2, we're going to score at 5 1/4 because that will be half. And I'm thinking I want this to be the inside. I actually want this to be the inside and this to be the bottom because we can do some fun things down here. So 5 1/4. Oops. Want that to be the inside so we make our valleys into mountains. So meaning you fold, if you score on this side, that's your valley because you've made a valley and you're going to turn it into a mountain. So this is our outside edge. This is our outside of our folio. And because it's cardstock, I'm going to do it twice and then put it to the side. This is from, I love this one. I can't help it, it's mine. There's a reason why I fell in love with all these images and everything. It's just things that I love. All right, this is the right side up. All right, now before we put away our scoreboard, we're going to score our these are our pockets. And since this pocket doesn't have a bottom, we're going to take this and we're going to measure this off. So let me show you real quick. There's my scissors. There they are. So we're going to take this and we're going to measure it to be about yay big. So a little bit shorter. Okay. And I'm using the scrap that I threw in the bin because why use a new piece of paper for that? So we're going to take this and we're going to score 1/4 in. So we cut them at 5 1/4. it's going to go to 5. And then here we'll do a 1/4 inch. And then this, maybe, if I can pick it up. This we're going to score, this is 3/4 inch, so I want to score it at 1/2 inch. So that gives us a 1/4 here and a 1/2 inch there. Just because it's easier for my fingers. We're going to fold this up. We're going to snip the corners. And then we're going to take this and we're going to do this quick gluing project so it can dry while we do the rest of these. And we're just going to make our own little gusseted edge. And I want the corners to come over because that'll give us, I cut the corners off as best I could. Come on, there we go. But we'll probably have to recut that. But I cut most of the bulk off. That way when we go to cut it again, it'll be there. And I don't have it quite all the way to the edge, and that's okay. That's okay. So we got that one ready. Now let's do the rest of this. Oops, let's put the lid on our glue. Just because I don't want any issues out of Herbert. There you go. So we're going to do the rest of that to the rest of these pockets, just scoring on the 5, and because this one's 4 1/2, we'll go down to 4 1/4. So giving it a 1/4 inch all around except the top where we're going to have the entrance. All right, so let's put that over there and let's just go ahead and fast forward through this. So this is going to be the top. I line it up. Here's my 1/4 inch. I slide it around, do my other 1/4 inch, and then slide it around, do my other 1/4 inch. There we go. Now we've got all the pockets done. Now comes the fun part. Getting it to put all together. This is the fun part. Now, we're going to fold these in half. This one and this one. Okay, and we're going to put them off to the side for a second because we're going to make some design choices here. I want to put these two with the weathered wood looking one, I think. Or do I want to put these here? You know what? I want to put these with the weathered wood and these here. So we're going to put these two with this one. Okay. And then this one is going to get these two. And I don't care that one's ivory and one's not. I really don't care. I think it's kind of cool that they're not matchy-matchy. Okay, there's two. This one is going to get this one and this one. Yeah, I like those with that. This one is going to get, these two are going to go in that one, these two go in the mushroom run, these go in the weathered wood one. So this one and this one go in here. Okay. Let's see. Wait, I'm gonna have it go this way. Okay, we'll put these away for a second and we're gonna fix on these. So for this step, we're gonna take, there's a little bit of glue on here from another project. I was rifling through with gluey fingers. So this one is, yeah, we're gonna use a little bit of vintage photo, a little bit of scorched timber, and because they're both oxides and kind of brown, I'm just gonna use the same dauber. And we're gonna go around the edges, and it's okay if we have little circly bits because we're going to be blending the vintage photo into this. So this is just a quick step, and that way we can work on the other ones while these ones dry. And we're going to do a little here. There we go. Move this to the side. All right, we have the pockets for these, so let's just fold these up. These are for the two that are drying. I want to have them ready to go when they're dry. So when you're doing gusseted pockets, you want to cut the corners off, and I go up to the edge of the corner and then down from the edge of the corner. And then I snip off these ones too. Or what I like to do is round the corners. And then snip off the excess. Like that. Now, do we want a notch in this? Yeah, little one right about here. Okay, now here's also, if you choose to ink these, you're going to want to do that after you've folded them and everything. So I like to fold them and then decide if I want to ink them or not. So we're going to take the scissors. Now we're going to go one by one and grab our bone folder or carpenter's pencil. And then we're going to round these corners. I am going to take some coffee and ink the edges of the pockets. I am not going to do the edges of the folio because I can come back and ink the edges of the folio when I come to decorate it. And I might actually decide to use vintage photo or black or something else that coordinates better with my the journal that I'm putting it in. Or maybe I decide to do blue because I'm putting blue paper inside of it. You know, so this way you're leaving yourself open to options, but once you put these down, they're down. The one thing I would say, if you add more than maybe 5 pages, so it's or 5 sheets, so it's a 10-page journal, I would actually do this as a gusset and then make your pockets a little smaller. Let's see. You know what? I have a better idea for this. Let's take, where'd that tape go? There it is. Let's take this washi tape. Now, here's the other thing you can do too. This is why, excuse me. This is why I don't decorate all of them at the same time, because some of it, if you're just using this as a folio, like an insert, putting washi tape on the spine is a little overkill. But if you're going to be putting it in a journal, or you're going to be stitching it, you're going to want to put washi tape or metal, some of them like this tape, you know, or homemade or DIY washi tape on the seam, so that way it reinforces it. Yeah, I like that. That looks cool. So now when I come back and ink it, in whatever color I decide to ink it in, it'll be good. All right, let's put this over here. Just gonna kind of rearrange the desk because I want to leave everything out, but I need space. And let's do the next one. And we're gonna do the same thing. This one has our already made gusset, our DIY gusset. I guess all these are DIY really, technically, when you get down to it. Now you could sit and cut all these at one time, but I think my hand would go on strike if I did that. Really? There we go. Okay, so now we need to fold this in. And fold this one in. Okay, and so we're going to cut this at the fold, like that. And then there's a little bit of extra hanging out here, so let's nip him in the bud. And we're going to cut this one at the corner here. There we go. And there's a little piece hanging out here. We'll nip him too, maybe. There we go. So let's test this out. Yeah, this one needs to get clipped a little bit more. There we go. And we need to round corners. That one's done. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. I'm going to use this green, I think. Yep. I'm going to use the same dauber though, so it has a little bit of brown. And we'll get the edges here with the brown. Yeah, see, I like that. Makes it kind of go better. All right. Each round corners, but we're only going to do this one at 7mm. There we go. And that's number 3. There we go. Let's get the green put away. Oh wait, maybe we want green because this is kind of a greenish color. And that's yellow, yellow. Oh, let's see what we got. Oh, this might be kind of cool to do in green and then do this one in a little bit of brown. So let's put these off to the side. Let's first up, round corners. I forgot to do it on the last one. And do sepia. All right. You thought I forgot about this guy, this little lady over here. So we're going to fold her in half. Ish. Okay, so we got a little guy. And then we're going to take this and measure out. Right there. And measure out. Right here-ish. It should be about the same. Nope. There we go. I'm going to grab a score board because I can't fold that small without having some help. So we got these little ones here. And I like this, that this fits in here like this. And you can have it stick out. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So this one doesn't really need any decorating. I mean, you may want to put like it's just doing with the postcards, just making sure that they didn't stick all the way. And this I leave open for a journaling spot because it's lined, and why not? So maybe put something here and something here or something here, you know. So, but because there's already a cover on it, I don't need to worry about that much. Let's look at the other ones real quick. All right. Well, this one has the same cover as this one, but you can see this one is a little bit darker because it printed smaller and it's on different paper. This is this is Astro Brights, and this is a different paper, and it's also printed a different color scheme. This is my thing, and this is the auto thing, I think, if I remember correctly. No, this is the auto. So it's up to you how you want to print them, but let's pick one that we can decorate real quick. I honestly, like some of these, I don't even think I'd decorate this one. I mean, maybe put some stickers on here or something. This one is for a journal that I have in the works, and this one as well. And this one's going in the gnome journal, and this one might go in a different journal. So let's see. Those four are already spoken for. These two don't really need too much love. So we've got these two. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's check out my starting to overflow box. I've been cutting out a lot of, what do we have on the inside of this one? Oh, so we could take this one and put it, see, that's too much. We need something a little more basic. You know what, we're just gonna put, oh yeah, I like that better. Yeah, I like it better. Okay, we'll still put this one in here. There, how's that? So you got note cards. Now you could put a journal page, you know, a couple journal pages in here, or graph paper for whatever, and then there's a text spot on this side, or just put it in a journal, and each page will stand on its own. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm gonna put this needle away before, or pin away before I poke myself with it. There we go. And we're gonna put Hubert Humphrey away. There we go. And I want to bring these back out so we can just kind of see and see where we're at with our ideas, you know, because we got this one that's, I'm going to call this one finished, because that's going to go probably in a market bin. But there's just so many things that we can do. I mean, if you get, like, this is from the Divine Feminine, which is my digital, my first true digital. Like, I didn't do artwork specifically for it. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, just the way it is, but you can zhuzh it up and add more things, add journals, whatever. So, and then, you know, you make things with, okay, I know I have these two journals for sure. Now, do I want to use this one or do I want to use this one for that journal? I haven't decided yet. Whichever one I don't do, I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I kind of like the splotchies. So, you know, but what would you do if you had a whole stack of these? Because I've got a whole stack of them. There's how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them ready to go in journals. And we did this all in 90 minutes-ish, give or take, you know, and we could have done more because the hardest part is putting the pockets in. So if you have all the pockets and or if you decide you don't want to do gusseted pockets because it's quicker to do just regular pockets, do it. But I'll have the measurements down in there, down in the description, down in there, down in there, down in the description box, so you can get my dimensions and play around and see what you come up with. And you know what? Share with me on Instagram. Share on Instagram. Show me a picture. I'd love to support you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or tag me on Instagram. And let's build a wonderful, awesome, supportive community here on the interwebs so we can all support each other all around the world, because we're all going through some stuff, and you know, no one's got it worse than anyone else. We've all got it the way it is. So, and that's just life, and we just have to pick up and carry on. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Pick up, carry on. Love you guys, and I hope you have someone that you can say I love you to. You know?